The title of the novel Angri is spelled wrongly deliberately, and I wouldn't want to explain why this novel is titled Angri, because there are still a lot of people who want to read this novel, and this might take away the interest of the readers. The suspense in the narrative is sustained by the different meanings of the word angry as applied in this novel. However, whilst I was writing this novel, I also came across other titles such as The Flood that could have been suitable for the novel, but then in the end I realized that Angry is the most suitable title, as you realize when you read this novel. In the novel Angry, I set out to write a narrative of the Cameroonian crisis that affected two of the country's regions, the North and the Southwest regions. Amongst other aspects, I examined the Cameroonian woman's, the African woman's contribution to bring about peace and contribute solutions to issues affecting not just her nation, but the world at large. I observe how these women have improved on their social livelihoods, and I see a possibility for them channeling this energy, this competence, into bringing about solutions in other areas of the society and even in the world at large. I create a very strong female character who is repatriated from an unknown country in the West. And while she's back in her country, she realizes that only she and her people can help themselves. In the narrative, you see how this lady actually moves around trying to implement this aspect, indoctrinating the people to take up the challenge to do things for themselves. Africa should refrain from the habit of relying on others, especially relying so much on the West. I realized that Africa has lost a lot to slave trade and colonialism, which all culminated into Eurocentrism. What I'm saying is that Africans should return to their fundamental values, family values of love, communal spirit, respect, moral values. These are qualities that are more than any natural resources, any mineral resources, anything money can buy. But when I look around, all I see is a kind of penury, moral decadence, emptiness. These aspects had been written down by Jonathan Swift in his novel Gulliver's Travel, and this still resonates in the present. Africans should be given the space they deserve to operate, to manifest. There is still a lot in the Africa that has not been explored. I'm not talking about mineral resources in the continent of Africa. I'm talking in relation to the person of the Africa. There are world issues whose solutions lie only within the Africa. Also, Africans should put aside all the indelible marks of slave trade, colonization, globalization, every negativity, every sloth, corruption, self-centeredness, self-aggrandizement, hatred, nepotism, envy, jealousy, and work as one to demonstrate, to manifest the potential that is buried within them. Africa was never granted independence, but a period of decolonization. This is why the fight against decolonization, which is ongoing, should be taken seriously, most especially the decolonization of the mind.